You've got to hold and give and do it at the right time, and the right time is now to give you our top 4 predictions for the end of the Premier League 2022-2023 season. I'm Ross Tweddell, joined by the Sausage King, Owen Mawson, and also on the end of the table there making his debut, it's Opta Joel.
Hello.
Where do you get the name Opta Joel? It's a crucial detail.
From Owen and Dan.
From the highest of positions.
I'm a stat man.
He is a stat man. We've got stat man Dan behind the camera. We've got Opta Joel now on the camera.
So how this is going to work, everybody, is we're going to go around the table. There's 3 people here. Obviously, that's an odd number. We're going to come to a general consensus. Tell Dan, behind the computer there, to put a score in a predictor. Then at the end of the video, we'll get the final table and find out of Brighton, out of Liverpool, out of Man United, and out of Newcastle, who will join Manchester City and Arsenal in the top 4. But Owen has some crucial stats for us before we get going.
I certainly do. So I have the potential points that all these teams could finish on. So we're going to start off with Newcastle and Man United. They could both finish on 75 points if they win all of their 3 remaining games. Liverpool, with 2 games left, could finish on 71 points if they win all 2. And Brighton, with 4 games left to play, could finish on 70 points, which is why they're probably going into this the most unlikely. But we'll discuss the fixtures and the results and see where they're going to end up on our little predictor. But yes, so 75, 75, 71 and 70 points.
How close will these teams get to those scores? Let's find out right now. As Dan swazzes the thingy, those are the remaining fixtures right there as my voice goes We're doing Newcastle hosting Brighton Hove Albion tomorrow night. Thursday night is where Satya Opta Joel. Prediction,
Hello.
Please.
I am going to go for a Brighton win.
How dare you? He comes dressed in black and white on debut on this illustrious podcast and he predicts a
Brave,
Newcastle win.
brave boy.
I think looking at the fixtures that Newcastle have got there, Brighton's easily the toughest one.
Yes.
And I think Brighton are in form at the moment. They've just beaten Arsenal 3-0. Newcastle have just lost to Arsenal 2-0. Newcastle have also just drawn with Leeds 2-2 in a game that arguably Leeds should have won. So I think at the moment Newcastle's form's going down slightly. Brighton's form's going up. I just think Brighton might be too much for them.
But what about,
they might crumble under
what
the
about
pressure.
Brighton losing to Forest and losing to Everton at home 5-1? What about that, Joel?
Well, that was ages ago, wasn't it? That was a few weeks ago. They've recovered since then.
Owen, what are you saying?
So I'm going to, looking at those 3 Newcastle games, the game, as a Liverpool fan, I'm hoping and can predict them dropping points in, is this game against Brighton, just because Brighton are so... They do brilliant. They take points off so many teams around the league. Yes, they've lost recently to Everton and Forest, but I can see this one being a score draw. Sorry to say that in front of you, but at least I've not gone for a loss, like Opta Joel.
No, you can go for a loss if you want, Joel. I would hold it against you.
I'm going for a score draw. I think Brighton, they could score against any team. Newcastle have been leaking goals. I think that's fair to say as of late. They've been leaking goals against all sides up and down the league. At home, obviously Newcastle's form has been pretty good, which is why I can't see Brighton getting all 3 points, but I could certainly see them stealing a point at St James's.
Aye, I think both teams to score is nailed on in this game, but I've got to start to throw at you, lads. Drawn, then won 9 in a row. That is Eddie Howe's home record in evening games in the Premier League as Newcastle manager. And that's my main hope heading into this game, because as a Newcastle fan, I'm terrified. It's still in our hands. We just need to win 2 out of those 3 games, and we're in the Champions League for certain. And I'm terrified we're not going to do it. And I'm terrified that we'll maybe lose this game and have to rely on 2 actual wins in a row at the end to get qualification.
See, out of the 3, though, I could see you winning those. I could see you beating Leicester heavily.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chelsea, I don't trust them against any
You don't know what
team.
Chelsea's going to turn up, do you?
That's it as well. Last game of the season as well. Chelsea.
Yeah,
might just
true.
think,
I start at the
Why
bridge.
not? Yeah.
And we've got a horrible record at Stamford Bridge. But anyway, I was going to go for it. Both teams to score, but Newcastle to win just because of Eddie Howe's record under the lights for Newcastle.
So we've all gone for a different result here.
Yes.
So we need to come to a common consensus.
I reckon we go Desmond 2-2.
2-2?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
2-2.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. 2-2.
We've gone for a 2-2 in Newcastle versus Brighton. And now we move on to whatever the next game is. Dan, if you can put the other screen back on so we can see. We're going to go... Should we just do them in order across the screen?
Yeah.
We might as well. Newcastle at home to Leicester. I think a win to 0.
Yeah. That could be 3 or 4.
2-3. What should we go for?
I'd say 3. I think Leicester's heads have dropped.
Yeah. They've got nothing to play for now. Have they been relegated yet?
Not officially,
not
no.
yet. But they will be soon.
So if Leicester don't get any kind of positive result at St James's, then they are down.
I mean, they need to
pretty
win
much.
both games, don't they?
Yeah, and I could see
St James's.
No, I can't
chance.
see them getting
But
anything.
the main takeaway from that Liverpool game for Leicester the night was when that goal, the first Curtis Jones goal went in.
Yeah.
Because Leicester started off all right, didn't they? They had a couple of
did.
chances. They were holding their own in midfield, I thought, especially.
Yeah.
Then that first goal goes in, then they just went,
The head,
meow.
yeah.
Yeah, about first 15 minutes they were playing well, and then once that goal went in, the Reds are gone.
And I think that's why they'll lose to 0 at St James's Park. I'll go 2 or 3. I'm happy what you want to go.
I would say 3.
3?
Yeah.
I'd say yeah.
Oh, we're going to go
Oh,
for
I-
3.
I'd
gonna
say
say
I'd say
4.
3-1.
3.
I
Oh.
just looked then. Newcastle haven't kept a clean sheet in 9 games.
Oh, we'll go for a 1 then. Why not? Just because it has been such
Because
a long
Leicester
time.
can score, they can't defend.
You could see Maddison score just because all the rumours
Yeah.
of Maddison coming to Newcastle.
With how tight the league table is, points wise, goal difference could come into it.
will. It
So
will come into
it's worth trying to predict this accurately.
So we have Manchester United now away at Bournemouth, taking things back to soccer AM way back in the day. I reckon Man United will win, but it'll be tight.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got them dropping points potentially. I think this is the game where they could drop points. I'm fairly confident that they'll beat Fulham and beat Chelsea again. I just can't back Chelsea to beat anyone this season at the minute. They might nick a point against Chelsea, but anyway, at Bournemouth, I think it's going to be tough. I know Bournemouth have not got much to play for now. They have. I think they're officially survived, aren't they? This season,
Yeah.
they've avoided relegation.
I think technically,
Yeah,
they are now.
so although on paper they've got nothing to play for, I think they'll still give them a good game.
I don't believe all that stuff about on the beach though. Like Bournemouth, the morale will be high. They want to win this game.
You know what I was just thinking
Prove
as
a
well,
point.
because I had said Fulham there looking at the fixtures. Fulham beat Brighton. Fulham beat Leicester for 5-2 the other week.
5-3, wasn't it?
When Leicester should be fighting for their lives and Fulham should be on the beach. So yeah, I suppose that's right. Bournemouth as well at home. Home form might be. I don't know the official stats, but I imagine their home form is better than away form. So United, they're starting to look leggy. They've got injuries in defence. Rashford hasn't scored. He scored like 1 in 5 as of late.
He's injured at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, Rashford's like had his purple patch.
He's just a video's been leaked today. Rashford's back in first team training.
It's been leaked.
So well,
Up to
Who says
Joel.
sources?
Up to Joel's
Saucy
got
Joel
all
got
the
away.
sources.
inside man.
Oh my God.
So I think he will be back for the Bournemouth game. I think that's huge for United as well.
Yeah.
With Rashford, he's the only consistent goal scorer.
Well,
for them this
Val
season.
Veghorst is fantastic. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
of course.
They play him in the 10. What are they doing?
He does well in the 10,
Holding
says
up
Gary
the-
Neville, in
Yeah.
everything but scoring goals
Yeah.
and assisting
As
goals.
a
It's
striker.
ridiculous he's there in first place.
I think it'll be a tight Man United win in that game.
Do you?
I agree.
2-1,
Yeah.
away win,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. We'll
yeah.
go for 2-1 on the scoreboard. Get the goal difference on there. Next up, we have, what is it, Dan? Aston Villa at home. Sorry, Liverpool at home to Aston Villa. And I think that will be a very, very close game. Aston
Really?
Villa are resurgent. They are the definition of resurgent.
Yeah.
I do think it'll be tough.
I can
think
see Aston Villa getting a point there.
Really?
Wiley Emery away from home.
Last home game of the season for
Treating it
Liverpool,
like a
though.
European away semi-final. Why not?
that's it. I think the atmosphere will be. It's at Anfield, and I think that's what will give it the edge. in that game.
Even at our lowest points this season, form wise, our home form was still pretty good.
You got beat off Leeds at home. Should have got beat off home at Newcastle. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, should have don't matter.
Should've,
It's weird
Should've,
how
coulda, yeah.
it's just weird how certain VAR situations get
Oh, here we go.
decided differently when
Oh, yeah.
certain teams are involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's move on from VAR. Come on, come on. Now.
No, I think our form recently has been. I think we've won 9 in a row.
Yeah, we won 9 in a row. We've got the best form in the league, apart from Man City, since our change in formation with Trent being the right back / midfielder, Curtis Jones getting a good run of games and being
John McGinn will
absolutely
have
on
him.
fire. John McGinn
will have Trent. I believe.
You know what? I'm glad that Villa are doing well under Emery because I think he got a lot of stick as Arsenal manager. So I'm glad they're doing well, and I think they'll do well next season. But last home game at Anfield, I can only see a Liverpool win.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I've been outvoted already. I was going to go for a score
Yeah,
draw.
there's 2 Liverpool fans on the table.
Yeah, it's slightly biased.
Well, we'll try and be as unbiased as possible, but I can see us keeping a clean sheet.
I think the pressure's kind of off for Liverpool in a weird way as well because we're 5th.
It is out of our hands.
That's it. It's not in our control. I think
Yeah.
most people expect us not to get top 4. So in a way, we can just there's no pressure on us. There's pressure on Newcastle and United. We can just kind of look at the games in front of us and go.
As I said earlier, when listing off the potential points that every team could get, Liverpool's max is 71 points. So we could win our last 2 games. Newcastle United could win all theirs. It doesn't really matter. Like we'll still miss out. So I think we will get all 6 points remaining. But whether you boys drop any points or United,
Should we go for a 2-1, something like that? 2-0, 2-1?
Yeah.
I think Villa will get a goal.
I don't, but what do you... I think it'll be a clean sheet, so what does Opta Joel say?
I'd say a 3-1.
A 3-1 he's gone for.
Let's go for a...
Large.
I think
we'll go for a 3-1, Dan. We'll put it in there.
We'll take it.
What's next?
It will be Brighton. Brighton away.
Yes, Brighton at home to Southampton. Well, that's the easiest prediction of the entire video, is it not?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brighton
I just said I read Brighton away to Newcastle there.
No.
I've already done that one.
Done that one.
Every team that's playing
4,
Southampton.
5.
Yeah.
Southampton are done.
They are done.
Yeah.
They're Leicester. In terms of Leicester, watching that first Liverpool going in and their heads dropping, Southampton are a different level.
That'll be
That Fulham game
kickoff,
at the weekend, the dejection around that stadium was meaty. 3 or 4, Dan. I'll go for that.
Yeah, I'll 3, 4.
4,
3.
why not?
We'll go
Yeah.
4.
We'll just go 4.
Big Brighton win at home to Southampton. Way aye. No goals scored there. I can't see Che Adams scoring at the Amex, whatever it's called these days. What's it called? The American
yeah.
Express
Is it?
Community Stadium or something like that, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
the
Whatever
Amex.
it's
It's the
called.
Amex.
So now we have a spare game, well, a couple of spare games in the middle there. We have Man United at home to Chelsea, and I think this will be quite a comprehensive home win. Because Chelsea are weird. I watched their second half against Nottingham Forest at the weekend there, and they didn't get anything going. And this is Nottingham Forest they're playing against at home.
the
Any
thing,
sort
innit?
of patterns of play, anything like that, they had nothing about them.
No, they just don't work as a team, do they?
No.
Nothing comes up for them. I like we said earlier, you don't know. Chelsea might just turn up and just might play well for a change, but you just can't play. I wouldn't put any money on it. United home form has been really good this season. I want, as a Liverpool fan, them to drop points, but I can't. I just,
You're not a Liverpool fan around this table.
I know, I can't.
You're an
but
independent thinking
Logical.
wrestling journalist, football journalist.
if I was a betting man, I would be betting on a United win and probably a clean sheet as well.
I think a clean sheet is
yeah.
I think so as well. I think Chelsea scored like 6 goals in 7 games.
But then again, United's defensive record
They
has
got
not been
2 against
great.
Forest.
They've got Varane back now. That'll help them.
Also, I heard a stat or read a stat earlier on today. United haven't been scoring very well lately. I think it was something mad like 2 in 5 or something like that. I might be completely wrong.
Well,
but
that might be to do as well with
Rashford being out. Yeah, and Rashford is.
But
like,
you are right.
their
I
main
think
goal
Bruno
threat.
Fernandes has only scored like 1 goal in past 14 weeks or something like that.
I saw a stat about how little games he's missed through injury in his career. Well, it's none, is it?
Bruno.
None
Yeah.
through United, yeah. I don't think so.
400 and something odd games I saw, and apparently none missed through injury, which is staggering the amount of he's on the floor during the game.
Yeah.
You think he's injured every 2 seconds. Anyway, we'll go for a home win, surely. Just depends what score.
Yeah, I'd 2-0.
I'll say 2-1 because
2-1?
with United's defensive record.
I'll go with Joel. 2-0, please, Dan.
Fair play.
Outvoted Owen. Commiserations to you. That's fine. Then we have Brighton at home to Manchester City. Now, it's interesting because when do Manchester City win the Premier League? And does that matter under Pep?
No, it's the next game, I think, isn't it? Against Chelsea. I think that's when they'll
Yeah,
win
but
it.
they've still got a game in hand.
Yeah.
On Arsenal. City. You see, even if we were going to say, obviously they got the Champions League semi-final. Well, that's tonight, so that'll be out of the way.
That's out of the
They've
way.
got so potentially Champions League final and the FA Cup final to look forward to. So we could be sat here saying, oh, they might rotate some players, but with City's squad depth, squad rotation doesn't really matter to them because they've got 50, 60 million pound players on the bench.
And they've got
so
players
even if
coming back from injury as well. They've got Ake is available for tonight's game against Real Madrid as we're sat here. But yeah, he's another option who's back and fit and available.
Even if they do rotate leading up to those one at least or 2 potential finals, I could still see them getting a win against Brighton. Even though Brighton have looked dangerous even against the bigger teams this season, City will win.
I think City's going to get a win there.
Brighton could get a goal.
You just
I
can't see
think
them
Brighton
letting up
I
under
think
Pep,
Brighton
can
will
you?
score.
Yeah, I think Brighton will get a goal or 2. But yeah, under Pep, it just doesn't happen, does it? Them going to the beach, as we were saying earlier.
No,
doesn't
that's
happen.
true, yeah.
So what do we want to say? 1-3, 3-1 away win, something like that.
Oh, I think that's harsh.
I would say 1-2, 1-2.
I would have said a 2-2 draw there.
Really?
Oh,
Brighton are really good, man.
They are really good.
they are sometimes, yeah. Not all the time, though.
Not all the time.
More
yeah.
often than not.
More often than not, sir.
If City get an early goal, they could crumble.
But the thing is, City have won 11 in a row in the league.
Yeah, they're unbeaten in 22, I think it was, something like that.
Like Pep's got his team to peak at the perfect time of the season, so I can see just a City win.
So we're City win, Joel. That's nailed in. You've been
Fair
outvoted
enough.
2-1. So
Fair
what's
enough.
City
City
win.
win. City win 2-1, 3-1,
I'd say 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah,
We'll go for 2-1.
probably Gunnawan. How do you pronounce the name? Gunnawan? Gundogan? How'd you say it? Gundogan?
Gundogan.
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 He'll probably score twice.
Yeah, he's prime Zidane at the minute.
He's in the form of his life just as he's leaving.
Absolutely fine. He's not going to leave. They've got to tie him down.
No, he's off to Barcelona.
It's to Barcelona.
He's going on a free transfer, that
Tie
lad.
him down. Right, we get to then the final game of the season. I do believe the final round of fixtures. Newcastle are away at Chelsea. It could go any way. It depends what we need to do, I think, on the day.
Yeah, so on paper, looking at form and the teams, Newcastle, you'd say, should be getting a win there. But last game of the season, Chelsea are at home.
Lampard going away forever. He's never getting back there, is he?
He'll find a way back.
He'll
find a way back somehow. He knows the club and he loves the club, Ross.
He
knows the club.
Yeah, that's why
he'll find his way back.
You want the guy with a skateboard? Why would you want him?
What's he ever won? A Bundesliga?
It was just banter, I bet, no doubt. Both teams to score, Newcastle win. I'm going to go for on that one.
If my Brighton prediction,
a collective sigh on this side of the
Brighton
table.
prediction came true at the start of the video and they did beat Newcastle, there's immense pressure here for Newcastle to win this game, and you never know what you're going to get with Chelsea. I think at the last game of the season they might just think, right, we've had a rubbish season here. We've got a holiday tomorrow. Let's just go
get
for
it
it.
out the way.
Let's just have fun. And they've got the quality in the team to produce something.
But do they have the strikers to get past Botman and Bird and Shah and Trips?
But Newcastle, as I said earlier, they have been leaking goals.
Yeah,
they have.
But no attack is worse than Chelsea in the league at the moment. Maybe Southampton.
Does Newcastle have the mentality, the experience, Ross?
Are you mentality monsters, Ross?
Will they pull an Arsenal?
Where's that come from? Mentality monster?
That's what Klopp says about Liverpool.
He's cringes.
Will they do an Arsenal?
Will they bottle it?
Yeah.
There's the potential for it. We bottled the Carabao Cup final. I thought. That was a big occasion.
As Joel said, if Brighton get a positive result for them in your first game of the remaining three, there's a lot of pressure, and it's whether you can go away from home and produce. because you'll probably need all 3 points.
We've won 9 in a row under the lights. That's what we're going to win that game. Forget about what Joel said.
Will you be under the lights against Chelsea away? I think it's like a 4:30 kickoff.
Yeah, 5:30 kickoff, won't it? Yeah. All right, daylight savings time.
What are you thinking?
Both teams to score. Newcastle win. That's what I'm going to go for.
No,
you two are just. I'm sad I've not got a different fan here.
No.
Because you're just
too much bias.
gagging to get Liverpool to get in there, aren't you? You're putting that in front of your
little
decision making, aren't you?
A little bit.
You are. Don't let that happen. You're going to kill the channel.
No. I think Newcastle. Realistically, again, if I was putting money on it, I'd say Newcastle win.
Newcastle win. So we've got that.
But I do think Chelsea are scoring.
Yeah, I think both teams to score. Newcastle win is the way to go. I'll go for a 1-2. Yeah, 1-2. Buckle my shoe.
Are you happy with that opta, Joel? Yeah. A reluctant, yeah.
Newcastle's qualified for the Champions League. Now we move on to Manchester United at home to Fulham. It's got to be a home win there, you'd think.
Tough game.
They're a weird one, Fulham, aren't they? Because they're always very open, I think. They're always going to concede goals.
Yeah.
It depends how many goes in the other end.
They've got Mitrovic back now.
Have they got him back?
Yeah.
After his ban.
He scored last game, first game back. Against Southampton, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Southampton 2-0. And then they'd just be Leicester 5. 5 goals past them. I think they will score.
It's away from home, though, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say. If this was not at Old Trafford, I'd say Fulham getting a positive result. But it's United's last game of the season, just before an FA Cup. I did check the FA Cup final. It's at the start of June, so they'll have a bit of a respite. They won't need to rotate too much. So I think it'll be a full strength United team, minus obviously the injuries and stuff. Fulham have been really good this season, probably one of the surprise teams of where they are in the league, potentially finishing in top half, but I can't see them getting a win.
Depends if the preseason Messi turns up or not. Andreas Pereira. I think that's what Man United
against his former club. Yeah,
I think he might be out for the season.
Never mind.
Last game of the season as well. There's always goals, isn't there?
Yeah.
Shall we go for something mad like 4-2, 4-3?
I could, especially if Mitrovic is back.
God, that is
4-2.
Get him in there.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go for a 4-2.
United league goals, you know.
They do. We've got that one in the bag.
Especially with De Gea lately.
Liverpool have got a long trip down to Southampton. Will that play a part? Jet lag.
I don't think so. As I said earlier, I think we're getting 6 points out of 6 remaining here. I think it'll be a heavy loss for Southampton.
I didn't see Che Adams causing Van Dijk some issues.
Yeah, with the
Stuart Armstrong nipping in there for a goal. Theo Walcott.
Ward-Prowse set piece, maybe?
That'll be his last game for Southampton, won't it?
Probably will be.
I think it's hat-trick of set pieces from Ward-Prowse. Get money on it. It's going to be a heavy Liverpool winner, isn't it?
Yeah,
I could see it being 3 or 4.
3? Should we go 3? I think 3's a nice one. 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
3-0. We'll go for a 3-0. And then we've got now, who is it? We've got South. No, we've done that one. Brighton
Villa.
away. Villa win.
As we
Really?
said earlier, with the Liverpool Villa fixture, Villa a really good team, and Emery's done amazing since coming in. So
They-
it will be tough.
At
They
home as well,
battered
yeah.
Newcastle at Villa Park. It was a no contest. It was a Butterbean versus Johnny Knoxville sort of affair.
Probably your poorest performance of the season, maybe.
Up there,
Yeah.
for sure. We got battered. So I'm going to go for a Villa win in that one. A tight one, though.
Villa win.
Yeah, not too...
Do you think Brighton are starting to look a bit leggy with all the games that they've had to play and
No, I
all the
just think-
catch-up that they're playing?
Emery's got Villa ticking at home, especially, and I think that's why they'll get a win.
Ollie Watkins.
It has been a bit unfair to Brighton, hasn't it? Because a lot of their games have been delayed, and now they've just packed them all in this.
I guess that is the thing we need to bring into account. Is the
4 games
I
left
think
to play.
there will
what,
be
two-
like rotation through
yeah.
these last few games.
4
so-
games in 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to play.
Yeah, I can see Villa winning here.
yeah, I'll get. We've gone for a Villa win.
We love a last home game of the season win, don't we?
Oh yeah, but Villa are
Pretty
good
much
under Emery, though.
everyone.
3-2, I'm saying.
3-2.
Oh, we'll go for it. Why not? 3-2.
Why not? Make it interesting.
Way aye. So there we go. That is the end of the season. That is our predictions for who will finish in the top 4. And Manchester United, congratulations. You're going to finish 3rd with 75 points. And Newcastle United sneaking in there with 73 points. Liverpool in the mud. Tears.
You hate to
Just
see it.
missing out. Enjoy Channel 5 on a Friday night. You deserve Thursday night, sorry. You deserve it.
You know what though? But all bias aside, going into this video, I had us down as 5th anyway.
Yeah, if I was putting money on
Because
it, I would as well.
although I have Liverpool, I think you do as well, have Liverpool winning both last games. I don't see Newcastle United realistically dropping enough points.
It's that Leicester game, isn't it? That's the one.
The Leicester game.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Yeah, well, just that'll bring us up again after maybe coming down for a draw or a loss at home to Brighton.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
I just think that Leicester game's come at a nice time for Newcastle because it's going to be squeaky bum time at St James's Park tomorrow.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's a big game. I think Liverpool have left this run that they're on just a bit too late. Just one game too late, maybe.
Yeah.
And when you look at the stats for the season, United and Newcastle have been in the top 4 for the majority of the season. That's Newcastle especially. So, yeah.
There we go. I think
Sad
it's
times.
more of a case of the teams in there already bottling it more than the other teams below overtaking, if that makes any sense. It made no sense in my mouth coming out there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Would it be a bottle job if you miss out?
It would be, yeah. It
Do you
would.
think
It's,
so?
it's exactly the same as Arsenal. We've done very well to get where we are, but I think the fact that we are there now, in the position we were in a couple of weeks ago, it would be a bottle job now.
It's all in your hands, yeah.
Yeah,
It's all in your
Pressure's
hands.
on.
Ross.
6 points, please God, or Santa Claus, whoever's up there. So that's it. Let us know, Ron, we were in the comments down below. I've been joined by the Sausage King, and up to Joel. We'll see you next time.